500 each, lower 200. That's not bad for lower two. Dude, I'm glad you're taking your son, Will. Is that your first? Is that your son's first? I wonder. That's great. And we've talked about this a few times. It's so cool to have this opportunity, 50 something tour, because I've heard countless times from you guys that this is a new opportunity to bring your loved ones, to bring your kids. It didn't exist before. Because again, I thought it was over, didn't we all? I mean, no, none of us expected this. That's why it was such a knee-jerk, breakneck, reaction by all of us. Are going, what? Are you serious? You're going back on tour? I mean, that was our take, right? It was like beyond words. And then especially like, oh, and you've got a lovely German female drummer. Okay, like it's like it was just cognitive dissonance. It was over, and then came flooding in. We're like, yeah, man, I miss Neil. And then the questions started that we all have just naturally when you're connected to something so closely. Rush, and especially Neil. That was a hard loss. And when you're connected to it so closely, we have questions, we have feelings, we have concerns. Okay. And we've talked a lot about that here on this channel. Awesome, dude. I'm glad you're seeing him in Fort Worth. Oh, in Fort Worth. Yeah, that's where I would go, by the way. My friend Joel, we always, since counterparts, have met up and we've gone to Texas to see Rush. So, man, if I can see Rush, it'll be down where you are. Okay, Dallas, Fort Worth. Man, all the way back to like Reunion Arena, right? I saw counterparts there. I saw Test for Echo there. And then down like near either Austin or Houston, an outdoor pavilion, we saw Snakes and Arrows. But yeah, I've been going to Texas to see Rush for a long, long time. It's kind of in my neck of the woods, if you will. Yes, it's your first son show. See, I mean, look, that's just everything else aside. Yeah, different drummer. Okay, Bob, put that aside. You get to bring your son to hear Rush songs live with 2/3 of our original OG crew. That's special. And Will, I'm really happy for you, bro. That's awesome. Yeah, I know. Yeah, they're basically my parents' age. Yeah, they've always been. Yeah, they're in their 70s. And a comment earlier today I responded to was really flippant, sarcastic, but and I've heard this before. Who will be the singer? And that's their subtext way of saying, can Geddy do it? Can Geddy sustain a tour of this magnitude? I've said it before. I mean, I hope, right? Can Geddy do it? Can Alex do it? I hope. I like to think I want to trust the boys. I want to trust Geddy and Alex that they know themselves, they know what they're capable of, and therefore, and hopefully Geddy musically will tune things down if they need to, right? Maybe they could bring songs down to where he can handle it without going, like, I hope that they'll make those. I know I would. If I had limitations placed upon me physically and with my voice like that, I would make every effort to make sure I could do it, then make sure I could do it well. Knowing what kind of experts, wrong word, knowing the excellence that Geddy, Neil, and Alex have held themselves through the years, that level of excellence that we came to expect. It wasn't just like, man, I hope they're darn good this time. No, it was, they're going to be this good because they're always this good, or at least they're doing their best to reach that, right? That's the best art ever, when someone just always is pegging for the very best of themselves. Okay, so therefore, I doubt that's changed. I have to put my faith in that they know what they're doing. If something changes, we'll find out real darn quick. 2 out of 3 ain't bad cute. Yeah. Man, I'm starving. I could go for some meatloaf right now. Nostalgia, how we were, is so important to our stories. The reason Counterparts resonates so much with me is because of where I was at the time. College, freshman year, Joel and I, my fellow Rush fan, and we within 2 weeks became roommates. It was meant to be. We're doing our laundry. So we pack up when another guy lives next door to us in our dorm. We pack up in his little Isuzu Trooper or whatever the heck it was. We're driving over to do laundry. And on the radio, it's like, whatever that rock show was back then, Rock Line or whatever it was. On the radio, the guy's like, Rush, new album. And then we're just, time stopped for us. Time stood still. And they played so much of Counterparts that night. They had interviews with Geddy and Alex live on the radio, on FM radio, okay, long before streaming, 1993, 4, whatever it was. And we sat in that little Isuzu for 2 hours listening to this live broadcast on your honeymoon. Cool. Yeah, now talk about special. Yeah. Mine was a test for Echo. I got married in 96. So I know the time frame. Of course, I wasn't too worried about Rush on that honeymoon. I had other things on my mind. Okay, I said it. All right, anyways, jeez. We sat there, right? We were captivated by the radio, the spirit of that radio, and listening to new Rush. And again, that transformative part of my life. And again, I've told the story 100 times, but I do it because I think so many of us share that. You with your honeymoon, you with your first you just share whatever your first Hold Your Fire concert. We remember those benchmark moments, right? Those special moments. And that's what's so cool is like we all have talked a lot about, we've shared volumes with each other about who we are, what we've been through, and what has Rush meant to us through the years. We do that for a reason. There is something special there. If you watch my new prog video, you can see 30 plus bands that I talk about, show, discuss. And I like those bands, but you really love only a few bands, right? That mean something to you, have meant something to you, have been there in your darkest hour, and have been there at the best parts of your life. That's the beauty and power of music. Primus, Claypool, Delirium. Oh, I know. I heard about that. Yeah, look at that. $78. Nice. I heard about that tour. Primus, yes. You know what? That was an accidental omission, leaving that Primus. I thought about him while I was working on that prog video. I thought about Les Claypool. But again, I said in that video, in my most recent video, the prog rock documentary thing, I said, guys, I need your help because I won't think of everything. I can't. So I'm glad you're talking about Claypool, and I'm glad you're going to see him. That's so cool. And isn't it cool? If you guys haven't seen it yet, on the Paramount Network Geddy Lee has a 4-episode TV show about bass players, and one of them has Les Claypool in it. And it was really cool to see how close friends Claypool and Geddy are. It was just really cool. They have a real friendship there. Real-time auto-tune? I don't know. Excellent question, Matt. Yeah, probably. Knowing whatever tech slash music company is out there that might have this technology, $20 says it has 2 letters before it. Because what doesn't these days? AI. Somewhat to the prog rock video that I just dropped, okay? I know it's a massive video, guys. Stick with it. I actually designed it with different chapter marks to be kind of like as if you're sitting through a massive prog rock album. And some guy accused me of like, I wish you'd just get to the point. Well, that was kind of the point. I took my time with this video. I wanted to talk about all these bands at length. I wanted to show their albums. I wanted to take the time. Just like Dream Theaters, take the time. I wanted to take my time with this one, and I did. So it is a long watch, but there's chapter marks in there if you want to skip ahead. But I designed it like a prog rock song. There's an overture at the end. There's a grand finale. There's a coda. Anyway, probably way too much for YouTube, the thought that went into it, but that's just how I think. And you're very welcome, Will's Rush page. Guys, check out Will's Rush page, YouTube. He's got some great stuff. And talk about Will's Rush page, right? Relentless, prolific with your releases. Kudos, dude. Anyway, it's like every other day or 2 hours I turn around, like, oh, he's got a new video. Anyway, I can't begin to keep up with the output that Will does. I'm just giving you an idea. If you're into Rush, and he does some other stuff too, check out Will's Rush page, please. He's a great guy. He's always supported me, and I like him. I have a link on my page to him. So anyway, I really love your stuff, Will. Matt, A. Young, Jason, man, and the other guys here. Thank you for being here. I'm gonna miss a couple names. Apologies. It's way up in the chat, but again, thank you. Check out my new videos, and I appreciate you. Kill them with kindness. That was a stupid thing to say. Oh, that's the worst way in the world to wrap up this video. My friends, you guys out there, people, my coworkers, and when I worked in the restaurants, meaning people from across my life, has said, Eric, will you show me and talk about video production? How do we do this, like the live switching stuff? How do we record ourselves? How do we edit the video? What kind of microphone, cameras, lights, this kind of thing? How do I do that? And it's taken me a long time, but I'm finally getting to, I've already made 3 or 4 videos so far. I'm going to get them out soon. So if you have any interest at all, or if you just want to hang out with me while I talk about nerdy stuff, those are coming very soon. Video production videos. And I'm going to spend a lot of time talking about editing. Been editing for 33 plus years, even before that in high school with just tape to tape and camcorders. But true nonlinear editing I've been doing for over 30 years. And I used to teach it professionally. I traveled all over North America, teach in film houses and in production companies, teaching people Avid systems and how to edit and all that kind of. So the point is, that's a whole subset of me that you guys don't know as well. Point is, you're going to see the boots on the ground live time of that in these videos. I say thank you because I mean it. I appreciate you. And Matt, you're my brother, man. I appreciate you. A lot of you guys, and I tag you in my videos, have gone into that true friendship zone. That has been a blessing I never expected. When in the early days and up until today, when I pray about this, when I say, God, please just bless I'm going to work my tail off, bless my efforts. You know, when I'm talking to God in the dark somewhere, I'm thanking him for the friendships I've made from this. And that means so much to me. And just to have friends who share the same kind of nerdy loves that I love. Anyway, yeah, I'm really pouring it on, but I mean every word. All right. I'm going to wrap it up. Guys, thank you again. You guys have a good night. See you next time.